gentlemen, introducing your Tag Me commentators for the Netrunner event from Moncton. I'm Alex.
I'm Kevin.
And here we are with another North Game Network video for you. This is an event in Moncton, New Brunswick. We traveled down from Fredericton to get a little bit more fingers in the meta. So here we have a game of PE, that lovely alternate art black tree, and a Quetzal on the left, which you can't quite see.
Is this your first real game against Quetzal here, Alex? Or I guess we should say, Alex, you're on the right
And
here.
that's me in the Lucky Hailstorm t-shirt. This is my first game against Quetzal in a tournament environment. I think I gave Matt my deck one time to play my Quetzal deck. But this is actually a first, completely first. And I was very excited to see that this was on the table because this was right after Quetzal came out. I think this is the first tournament after that data pack.
Yeah. You've been playing Quetzal for a while, so you know what you're doing, or you know what it's doing. He, she, maybe. We're not too sure. Probably a she.
This is a he in this case.
Well, no, but is Quetzal a he or a she?
Is Quetzal a he or she? I think Quetzal is definitely a she. Nice flowy locks of feathers. They're brightly colored. Actually, that's actually typical for male birds. Is they're brightly colored feathers to attract their mates. So you could be right. Yeah.
Well,
for all
let's
you
put this
ornithologists
digression
in the,
aside.
listening.
So, of course, Quetzal's ability is to break one barrier subroutine a turn, so I would expect to see some sort of E3 setup.
Yeah, that's definitely what I'm running. I know my Quetzal is a E3 and then a lot of card draw to make sure I get it, and then I actually do a funny little big hand origami funky jank. Here I'm giving the other player some dice to use to make it a little easier to see. He had some funky looking nebula dice that was really hard to see, so I asked him to just use a separate set of dice.
Play with the clear black sleeves here, Alex.
Yeah, I think this is actually
interesting
the
choice.
First game, our first tournament I play with the clearbacks, and I'm liking them. I've stuck with them. They're
all right. What do we see? Hedge fund, close accounts.
yeah, it's like a piece of ice.
That's pretty standard.
Like a Lucky Find and a
Lucky
Deja Vu.
I wonder if he's playing a prepaid Quetzal. That would be interesting.
I remember this game vaguely, and it was actually a surprise what he plays out, and I'm not going to give it away, so let's just watch and see what happens. But it's different.
All Quetzal decks are different, so. Alright, we're underway. Alex, ice. Ice.
Baby.
Hedge fund. For the first time ever in the history of Netrunner.
Nobody really understands that play. Like, it's really unique. I like to just mix it up a little bit. Really keeps them on their toes.
Yeah.
So here we're grabbing some click trackers so we can make sure we don't make any mistakes. Put them over by the camera here.
I do like that you grab your click trackers, and spoiler alert, you clack your tricks, or track your clicks once this entire
Yeah,
time.
spoiler alert. Don't actually track my clicks. Although I have been getting lots of practice with some great click trackers from the guys over at Team Covenant, and they're awesome. Their new click trackers are just fantastic. So I've been tracking lots of clicks now, and I'm doing much better with getting my whole turn in and not taking extras, and also remembering my mandatory draw. That's actually been pretty
good. we got a click 1 and 2 lucky find, and then an inject for click 3 inject.
So
being a very important anarch card in the meta right now. A lot of people are loving the card draw, and it's showing that anarch is got quite a bit of recursion too. Spinal modem.
This is the interesting part.
You got a little tracing going on, do you? Or
how often do you see spinal modem pop
out? This is the first time I've ever seen it in play.
I think in a tournament, first time. Yeah.
Spinal modem. Giving him 2 reoccurring credits to use an icebreaker. There's an MU on there too, I believe. But the horrible part is you take a brain damage whenever there's a successful trace. So typically you would not want to see this on an NBN trace deck.
Yeah. Yeah, this can be very scary, but I think against Black Tree in general, you're usually pretty safe unless you're doing something like not cerebral static. What's no, that's I guess it's a psi game, not a trace. You get a tag. You
Yeah,
get the
yeah,
10
it's
off the
pretty
psi
safe against
game.
Black Tree.
Yeah.
I'm thinking the emergence of Near Earth Hub making making news not as relevant might make Spinal Modem a better card right now.
hmm That's a good point. A lot less trace ice. We still see a fair amount of data raven, but that's not trace. That's just take a tag or on the run. So, and that's a good economy if you're putting out a couple credits for using your icebreakers. It's a pretty good economy.
Absolutely. All right, we got a quality time here. So we've seen two card draw cards here from our Anarch player, making me think this might be a big reg setup.
Sure gambles for click 2. Gets himself back up.
Loading in the money here.
Oh, he had to click for credit there and then sure gamble.
Yeah, he was down to 4.
A proper play.
So now that brings him up to 9. I would expect to see him install something or play another sure gamble here, just to get the cards out. Yeah, there's the sure gamble. Alright, so Alex, you get the one remote out, you've got 2 pieces of ice. What's the game plan
here? Game plan here is to look at those lovely backs of those cards because, I mean, those clear matte back, they shuffle real nice. You can still see the card art on the back of the card. Very aesthetically pleasing. That's usually what I like to do with this deck. Just gonna look at it, install some more cards.
Alright, so that's a Mushin Notion for click 1 and 2 there. Don't look at the click trackers, they lie.
Yep.
And then grabbing a credit on click 3. Staring down a PE player with 10 credits is scary. So, Cyberfeeder, this is backing up my big rig theory on this Anarch deck. If we see more Cyberfeeders and more recurring credits here, this might be the type of deck that can break into just about any server for free.
And there we go. Ask and answered. There's another Cyberfeeder.
So he has 4 ice-breaking recurring credits on the table now. That's pretty massive. House of Knives right off the bat. Great card. You can start doing some extra net damage now. You can pull out a same old thing. That's a great card to pull out.
Yep, definitely. Yeah, get rid of some of that recursion out of the Anarch stack. Yeah, I think this is a pretty typical Black Tree. You've got Mushin Notions. I think this is one of the first tournaments I played with. I may or may not be doing it here, but the Shell Corporation upgrade.
Okay.
I think that might be. This is the first event I played with that in this deck, and I found that was really amazing economy. Allowed me to play a little more ice and still have the same agenda density without having to have extra operations for money.
We have another inject, and we actually saw the prepaid voice pad here, so this is going to be a massive recurring rig. I would expect to see prepaid come out right here. Although he's already used 2 of the sure gambles and a lucky thought, yeah, there's prepaid.
Still going to be worthwhile with only a couple cards used. He's going to use it right away.
Yeah, I mean, it makes your injects free. Alright, so he retrieval runs, so that brings the cost of that down to 2. I'm assuming he's going to probably pop out the Fem.
I've recently learned how amazing that deck can be. I'm presenting my ice for him to put that Fem token on.
Yeah, retrieval run's going to be huge in the post-order and chaos world, so.
Yeah, I very much enjoyed that card in the pre-order and chaos world.
So we have a breaker on. He's chosen to choose the ice over R&D. Being an Anarch with medium in the fold for free. Oh,
and here's
another House of Knives.
Here's the engine
down
of the deck
blind.
is Black Tree with 2 House of Knives scored. You ain't gonna have a bad time.
Well, that's 6 net damage right there. Pretty much unpreventable. I mean, who's gonna prevent 1 net damage with a Deus Ex or anything like that? So, clicking Katie, installing Katie, and clicking it.
Always good to do. Install Katie, click her the same turn.
Was that? That was an
Inject.
inject. Choosing not to use the prepaid.
May have forgotten.
Yeah.
I think we saw another prepaid come out of that.
Two programs. There's a medium there.
It looks like a medium. He pulls out the
He
other
brings out
prepaid.
the other prepaid. Two prepaids on the table. This, man, 6 reoccurring credits for various things. Like 2 credits might be enough to finish off the game for him. He's not ever gonna need to use Katie.
Yeah, prepaid, cyber feeders, and spinal modem. That's a lot of recurring credits, and there we see install double advance.
This makes me think you are indeed playing Shell Corporation here. Either that is a Caprice, an Ash, or a Shell Corporation.
And I can tell you straight away that it's definitely not an Ash or a Caprice because they are not in that deck.
Okay,
So,
well.
but it's a little bluff here because you don't. That's definitely a trap going to be on top of that.
Playing the Deja Vu to bring out Keymaster, and then installing it for 1 the next play.
Shout out to Ghostbusters.
Deja Vu for free with the prepaids. That's just great. I mean, God, I love prepaid.
Yep.
Alright, Alex, you're trashing ice on an install here. Removing the Fen token. I wouldn't.
The great thing here, it didn't cost me to res it, and probably not expensive.
Yeah, frankly, I'm surprised
he
he waited. Like, that token was there for at least 3 turns. He knew you were going to do this at some point. I would have ran earlier.
I think that's the thing, is he hasn't been running. He's been working on his rig. He's been building his rig up. It's allowed me to score the House of Knives. It's allowed me to set up a trap with my Shell Corp on it. I'm sitting pretty here and pretty confident that I just let him to have that thumb token because I want him to access a couple of agendas here to get a little more damage to whittle away.
This is true. I mean, he knows he can get in anywhere right now. He has a Sentry Breaker. He has a Code Gate Breaker. And Jinteki doesn't run a lot of multiple subroutine barriers. So Quetzal can break into any of these servers. I'm assuming you have a Mitsubako or maybe some of the small neutral barriers. But Mark seems to be keen on building a rig here, which at this point is actually quite scary. You know, Corroder's also in faction here. Oh, sure, gamble again, not using the prepaids. Not that it looks like economy is going to be a big deal, but whenever you can squeeze a few extra credits out of those prepaids, you have to do it.
Every credit counts. When you got to think about it costs you a click to gain 1 credit, any way to get that extra, to get more money out of a click, the better. So using everything you can. So the reoccurring credits, prepaid for using your breakers, anything like that.
Absolutely. Alex, it looks like you install a naked remote, upped that token on your server, another one, then took a credit, so there's the 3rd cyber feeder. This is a scary rig.
And he's really playing solitaire right now. I'm surprised with only a 1 deep server worth of ice here across the board that he's not trying to do a little more access.
Yeah, I mean,
it also means I can't use my House of Knives tokens, because if he's not making a run, those just going to sit there.
Well, there is that, but I mean, he is just motoring through his stack. Unless he's running levies, and maybe he's searching the levy. This would be scared. Yeah, I'd be running low on cards. So you put out 2 more remotes to take a credit. Knowing you, Alex, agendas, both agendas, and neither agendas?
Probably all 3 agendas. Yeah, it's very likely. None of them are advanced. I think in this rendition of the deck, there was no second fields, so you're pretty safe to run on empty remotes here. But he throws up a scrubbed, I believe.
Yeah. Not sure how much of a big deal this will be. That the scrubbed is your first ice is encountered as at -2 strength.
I don't think this will be big of a deal at all because unless he's going to run this turn, um, one of those ice or one of those installed cards is going to be a 3 advanced score agenda. So
Okay, and he steals a
starting to
house of
look for some
nines.
things.
That would have been a great card for you to have scored.
Realizing how good it is to have a playmat, being able to pick up your cards.
Another
Doing
net
that damage,
damage.
where did
Let's
I
see.
get there? Looked like a
Net
deja
damage number
vu.
3.
That's
That's
a
a
good one
great
to
card to
snipe.
pull out of the hand.
Lots of good recurrent snipes here off the net damage.
Clicking Katie. Oh no, choosing not to. Choosing to draw instead. Still motoring through that stack. At this point, Alex, where are you? I'd almost be let him content to slowly score agendas and let him draw himself dry here.
I believe that's the intention here. Now I'm a little concerned about funds for scoring because I still want to be able to res some ice because there's definitely going to be some damaging ice, Kamainus, and I think I've got a Sarugi in this deck and Narrow Katanas, that sort of thing. So I still want the money to be able to do that. So I think I spend that turn just for getting that Shell Corp out.
Shell Corp being a pretty good economy card. It was that a battery? No, that's the Cerberus barrier breaker.
Yeah, it looks like Cerberus. Yeah.
An interesting choice. With this many recurring credits, I think I would have chosen to play Corroder instead, but
I completely agree. Corroder in faction stays out. You don't have tokens to deal with. And look at all that money that's sitting on the table. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4 credits, 5 credits just for using your breakers, and that's without even tapping into your KD
that's
or your own
correct.
pool.
But also with Quetzal being able to break barriers, he might find that one Cerberus is enough to do you the entire game, and if that's the case, Cerberus is certainly the more efficient breaker.
Absolutely. And maybe that's what he's looking for too right now because we haven't seen an E3 implants come out of his deck yet. So he could really be digging hard just to see an E3, which could be really frustrating having seen over.
Well, we've seen a few influence. Keymasters 1, Fems 1, Quality Time is 1. Actually, we've only seen 3.
Nonchalantly, Mushin notioning a server here and clicking shelf.
Alright. Money off Katie, so he's sitting at 13 credits.
There's his Corroder. Okay, so he wants to double up on this barrier situation. Very interesting choice.
Oh, sorry, Cerberus is the Anarch Cerberus
Sentry
That's
is
why.
not.
Right.
Sentry. That's why. Yeah. I was thinking that too, and I was thinking that that color looked a little off to be.
Is that a beanstalk?
Looks like a beanstalk. Checking my servers. Gonna res a Jackson because I'm not seeing the cards that I'm looking for.
So you've got a trap obviously in the table, or you're just very ballsily letting that agenda arrive, which I don't think you would. Unless it was a fetal.
Honestly, it could very well be a fetal. I love Mushin notioning a fetal and then leaving out for 4 or 5 turns.
Protecting your Jackson.
This means that I haven't seen a second Jackson, which is surprising. I'll usually keep a Jackson in hand and not.
CQ. Alright,
great
you're asking
card.
how many cards he has here, so you're gonna pay 2.
2.
I take this. I take this as -1. No, he takes 2 net damage.
Especially where his stack's so low, and he loses another deja vu. That can't be helpful.
He's gonna run out of cards here pretty soon. Guaranteed you're running more 1-pointers and 2-pointers. So before this game ends, you're gonna do at least 3 or 4 more net damage. A pop on top of R&D. Alright, so he gets in for his Cyber Feeder credits, breaking it with them.
Yep, just verifying that he is using his. I think he just tilted them sideways and said access. So just want to make sure he wasn't paying the one paying the one.
Yeah, because yeah, it is.
That's
It
key
absolutely
factor, is for using icebreakers.
Cyber Feeder, the recurring credits to be used for icebreakers, not to be used during a run.
Correct.
So we're at 2-1 here. There's a CQ in the trash, which really is almost self-protecting your archives. Knowing how short his stack is, you can actually feel a little bit better about throwing an agenda in there.
Yeah, but here's the thing: is I'm Jackson drawing, looking for some agendas, and you can see that with where I've installed another upgrade to that server and then clicked Shell Corporation again. So I'm trying to bait him into running that, I think, or and just looking for agendas to actually score out because I see that he's taking his good sweet time and hasn't really attacked anything. I would have had plenty of time to score out more agendas.
Alright, running R&D again, cyber feedering in. Free access is off the top of R&D, always good. I think you need another piece of ice here, Alex.
The kicker with Blacktree, especially this where he's only got 1 point scored, I want him to get a few accesses because I would like to get him to take some net damage.
Okay, so he's running HQ and you do 2 points of net damage right off the bat. Katie, and I can't see what the other card was, so not that big of a deal. You're not rezzing. Do you have any agendas in hand, or do you have, well, you must have snares.
Yeah, I feel like this is going to be a snare in hand, and it might be a Mitsubaku or something of that sort over top of HQ. I've seen a lot of Anarchs run.
I think he's choosing to jack out, which may actually be a smart move with 3 cards in hand here.
Yeah, 3 cards in hand, thinking that if he was to access a snare, he did have a click left, so he could have spent the time to clear it, and he'd only have an empty hand. But perhaps he was concerned that he would have a neural EMP risk if there was 2 neural EMPs, anything like that.
He hasn't seen a lot of influence from you either, right? So you could be running Scorches as well.
Yes, very true. That's if he doesn't.
So you have to make the choice between clearing the tag or drawing the cards. So you protect against Scorch or you protect against EMP. And here the best decision was to jack out.
Yeah, I believe so as well. That's a great play.
All right, mandatory draw on your end, Alex. Let's see what you end up doing. All right, you're gonna cash up here a little bit. So you've got 9 in hand, 9 on Shell Corporation. So you do a Jackson draw.
Jackson draw for click 2. We're gonna click that.
Dozen on Shell Corp.
3.
Imagine you'll have to trash a few cards here.
Yep, lots of trashing. And can you just imagine looking at Blacktree with a potential 20 credits?
It's not good.
That's
you have 3 face down ice. Jinteki ice is always nasty, but 3 face down ice could eat into 20 a little bit. Another hit off of R&D. You're gonna do 2 more net damage here. Will you? Yeah.
Yep. I think the key here is I want to save a couple of them to try to get the kill later on. So I was just really deciding what's the duration I'm going to need here. So he's down to 2 cards. If he sees a snare, I think he's done.
Oh, that's a fetal, so you destroy all 3. No, it's not. No, it's
okay, so
Philotic.
Philotic, yeah. So that's the card I was looking for, I believe, more than anything. I like to have that Philotic and know where it is.
Everyone likes the Philotic. It's a great card.
Yeah.
All right. Anarch up 3-2 here. Pulling 12 off Shell Corp.
So now I'm just swimming.
Do you have something in hand or something that you need a lot of cash for, or do you just feel that was the appropriate time to pull?
I think it was just that was the appropriate time to pull. Give him a little bit of scare. I know for sure there's Sarugis in this deck, not Sarugis. What's the 7? Shinobis.
Okay.
There's definitely Shinobis in this deck, so it's a little more expensive to res, and I want to have the money for the traces.
Right.
So, and I noticed that has definitely scorned me a few games with this deck because it wasn't very rich. If I don't get that Shell Corporation going.
All right, getting into R&D again. You are leaving the tokens there. Doing what you said. Oh, there's the fetal, so he pays 2. Not that that affects him much. Down to 10 now. And takes 3 net damage. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You've done 11 net damage so far, and he continues to draw. He's got 2 cards left in his stack.
That is going
He
to
essentially
be
cannot play any more cards here. He's at 5 points. You can steal another 2-pointer, but if you start scoring agendas, or if there's a Ronin somewhere, he is in trouble. Still, no levy to be seen.
I have to steal some dice here because I'm using up all my dice
Too
for
much money.
which is a rare occurrence in Black Tree.
Yeah.
I'm going to double advance here.
Single advance.
That one. Must be advancing the outside one as well then. 2 on that one. I guess I don't need those dice.
Nope.
What am I doing?
You're gonna choose to use them anyway. Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Gonna use those for advancement. Yeah. Gonna use that. Click that one for credit. Just to make things consistent.
All right. What do you think that is on the side? Is that a fetal, or would that be another trap? Or are you just baiting him into running a trap?
I honestly don't know. One of those has got to be a fetal.
Alright, he's now pulled through his stack. If there's a levy, we haven't seen it. I would play it right now, were I him. So he's choosing to go in R&D.
So this is probably his best choice.
There's the snare. Well, you obviously pay for it. 3 points. This leaves him with 2 cards.
I don't know, Kevin. I really like having that money.
yeah. 2 cards.
So smart move
Essentially,
by him.
all you need to do now. Oh, 3 cards left. Sorry. Essentially, all you need to do now is score some agendas. Because any run he makes, you're gonna use those 2 House of Knives.
Yeah.
If you score an agenda here soon, that would net damage him. Yeah. This game is pretty firmly in your hands here, Alex.
Yeah. Which even if you're scored up on points,
he's making the right play. He's trying to get in again. Are you gonna do the? So you do the House of Knives. This brings him down to 1 card. He needs.
This way, the only thing he can see here is a 1-point agenda, another House of Knives, which all 3 of them are on the table. So the only thing he's going to see here is maybe a Future Perfect, which I can side game. We've got a risk that we can take, or he's going to see a fetal.
All right, so he's spending 3 to. That is not what you're looking for.
What was I doing?
Well, it looks like you are not spending 3.
Looks like I had a misplayed here.
Either that is possibly the best bluff of all time to say that you don't have a agenda on the table, although bluffing with him 1 card left in hand is probably not what you want.
Yeah, so I think here I must have thrown out an agenda, or I still have it in hand. Wow, that was a really bad play on my behalf. I'm not sure. Arguably, that's not an illegal play because I could res that Cerebral Overrider, and you could just look at it and say, "Oh, look, that's a Cerebral Overrider. I probably should have run that."
I don't think any judge would penalize you for giving the runner information that he would not have had otherwise. So.
Yep. So, unfortunately, I guess I wasn't able to score, and I was really looking to do so.
All right, so you're spending 2 to advance that outside card. That could be the Future Perfect.
I have a feeling that that's going to be an agenda.
Oh, it's likely a fetal.
Probably a fetal. That one's probably the fetal.
Yeah. If there was a Future Perfect, I would have probably installed over top of it here to get it into the archives.
Absolutely. Now, I think at this point I had never installed a Future Perfect. Because that's just asking for trouble. The problem there was I'm pretty sure I thought I had installed the fetal closest to me, and when I advanced that card, I thought it was
okay.
I did not mean to advance the Cerebral Overrider.
Oh, so you advanced the wrong card, okay.
Yeah.
And the first pull off the top of R&D is he's spending 2, so he's trashing what looks to be a reverse accounts.
Reverse accounts, yeah.
And then he sees a fetal to end the game.
Oh, he sees a fetal.
Takes the 2 net damage on access.
Well, right there. Love those fetals, and there's another fetal. Nothing you can do.
18 points of net damage. Welcome to Jinteki.
Didn't matter where you went. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, hit the like, hit subscribe, follow us on Twitter at NorthGameNet. You can find us on the website, northerngamingnetwork.com. You can listen to myself and Kevin and Matt on our Tag Me podcast, northerngamingnetwork.com/tagme. And I'm Alex.
I'm Kevin.
Till next time, stay frosty.